Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. Today, we are asking the question, what is next in our love lives? And this is for all of my single viewers. So, if you are currently single and curious about what is next in your love life, then this is a reading for you. I'm going to pull 3 cards from my Mystical Shaman deck, and they will be connected to each of these shells. And whichever card or shell you feel pulled towards, then that is your card. This is a wonderful opportunity for you all to connect with your intuition, to listen to the wisdom that sits within you, and to practice that act of being present and that act of investing in your consciousness. And so before I jump right into the reading, I want to walk you around my table. And I pulled a few things from my garden and from my shelves to create a bit of the very clear intention of inviting love into your world. And we're doing that by working with the energy of the plants and the herbs and the fruits and everything around us. So to start, we have some orange citrus. This is a fresh orange from our tree, and I orange brings so much energy. It's a wonderful boost to whatever you are manifesting. It's a wonderful enhancer to any spell or any intention that you are setting. And so orange also brings a lot of vibrance and energy to love. We also have some mint here, which mint is a really wonderful grounding way to connect to love. It's a wonderful way to invite things to you. And then we also have lemon balm. Lemon balm is healing. Lemon balm is a very powerful herb of abundance. So a lemon balm this is also lemon balm here. Lemon balm brings a lot of abundance and love and is a very wonderful herb that allows you to heal through this new connection. Then I also pulled some basil for you all today. Basil is protective, so you go into this new connection with some protection prepared. I know you have a lot of ways that you'd like to guard your heart, and I want us to be protective intentionally rather than just on the default letting that happen. We also have some chamomile flowers that I'm in the process of drying, that I'll be using for tea. And this chamomile is calming, chamomile is soothing. I want us to be conscious and grounded and calm as we're entering in these new love connections. And that's also why I pulled some dried lavender here. And lavender is mentally soothing. So this allows you to go into these new connections so grounded, calm, conscious. I want us to be entering love from a healed place, but also from a conscious place where you are aware that there is always more growth to do. And within that, we need safety, we need security, we need an ability to be grounded. And so the focus here is we're inviting warmth, we're inviting love, and we're inviting abundance and healing and prosperity. And so, if you have any of these scents or herbs within reach, go ahead and put some on your altar. If you're at the grocery store and you see a basil plant, maybe it's time to bring that home. Fill your space with this scent. If you have a lavender candle, maybe light that, or take a bath with some lavender oils. There's so many ways that you can incorporate this into your world. So, without further ado, let's jump into our reading for today. I'm going to be pulling 3 cards, again, from my Mystical Shaman deck. And I want you all to take this opportunity to take a deep breath and clear your mind. Oh, we've got 1 card jumping out. That's going to be our first card. Wonderful. We have our first card that is already associated with our green shell. This reading is just ready to start, you guys. Well, again, we're asking the question for all of my single viewers. Again, we have more cards coming straight out. There we go. There's our second card associated with our beautiful, large, tan conch shell. We're asking the question today, what is next in love? What is next in romance? And we're just going to feel through the deck for our third card. There we go. There we go. And for our third card, we have this patterned, beautiful, kind of checkered patterned shell here for you. So this is your opportunity to quiet your mind, connect with your intuition, and ask yourself, are you pulled towards the left, the center, the right? Is the number 1, 2, or 3 jumping out at you? What are you being drawn towards today? Is there a certain shell that is speaking to you? Make sure that you are taking the time to really listen to what your intuition is telling you. And once you have the number, the card, the shell, the direction in mind that you feel drawn towards, that will be your reading for today. And you can jump straight to that reading, or you can listen to all 3 because there's wisdom and messages that sit in all 3 of our readings. And then go ahead and enjoy your reading. Hello, Group 1. Thank you for being here today. Without further ado, let's jump straight into your reading. This is our beautiful green-blue shell here, Group 1, and we're asking the question, what is next in our love life for us today? And the card we got is the Time Master. Now we have the Time Master reversed. I'm just going to hold him upright for you to be able to see. We have the Time Master. All right. We have our anchor card there. Let's throw some tarot before we jump straight in. We're asking the question, what is next in love? What is next in our love life that is coming up? We have the Queen of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Two of Pentacles. All right, so with the Time Master, this is all about the contradiction between how much time do we actually have? When it's reversed, it's the question, do we feel like we're running out of time? You may feel like you've been looking for that love for so long, and maybe you're thinking, I'm getting too old for a new connection. I've been through this too many times. You're losing hope. That sense of like you're running out of time. When is that love supposed to come? This invitation that comes with the Time Master is to realize that time is an illusion. Just because everything has happened in a certain way in previous relationships doesn't mean that's going to repeat. Doesn't mean that you're running out of time. You're able to reinvent yourself and jump into a new romance at any point throughout your life. This concept that you're too old for that experience or you've been through it too many times is absolutely a social construct. It's absolutely an illusion. With the Queen of Cups here, the Queen of Cups is all about emotions. She is a master of emotions. And this deck is so reflective, which I love it, but it makes it harder for you guys to see. But the Queen of Cups she is making this very clear here, since she's in reverse, that you've kind of been cut off from your emotions for a minute. You haven't let your emotions guide you. And we see that also in the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is act first, ask questions later. You may have actually been too quick to jump into relationships in the past without having that focus of asking yourself and reflecting, is this the right person for me? Am I truly just worried about the fact that I'm running out of time and that feels so present for you? This question of, am I running out of time? Do I need to just find whoever is showing up to me, right? You are jumping straight in without taking that moment to say, How do I feel about this person? Do I feel grounded and safe with this person? Or do I feel excited and intrigued? And so, what's clear here is there is love that is coming for you. It is not too late. You are not running out of time. But you need to invite the emotional grounding that the Queen of Cups does so well. She is, look at her. She is so peaceful in her emotions. She is grounded in her emotions. And you're missing that right now. It's almost like it feels like you've been hurt so many times or hurt badly enough that you don't let yourself go here with new connections. But you need to start a new connection from this space of being empowered and grounded in your feelings. And that brings us straight to the Two of Pentacles, which is all about balance. Look at her. How is she balancing that way with these Two of Pentacles? She takes the opposite energy and she is able to bring balance into that. So there's both excitement and jumping straight into the Knight of Wands is all about passion too. There's excitement and there's passion and there's true feelings there of wanting to, that yearning to connect, and there's actual connections waiting within this energy, right? But you need to be able to bring the balance that sits underneath that passion and come at this connection in a grounded space where you're truly listening to your intuition. And the Time Master, your anchor card here, also tells us that there is connection coming to you. The Time Master is a yes card. You do have romance coming. So let's take a look at what's coming up for you in your next, let's start with the timeline. Let's take a look at this next quarter for you. Whenever you're watching this video, this is timeless. So the next quarter is going to be your next 3 months. Okay, you have someone showing up in the next 3 months. What else, other information do we have about this timeline? Yeah, so we're getting the Fire Fairy, which is fire catches quickly, right? It is absolutely a card of speed. And we have the Bee, all about luck, all about sweet victory. Let's see. Let me break down. So this is the next quarter. Let's do for month 1, the next 4 weeks. The month 2 and month 3. All right. So it seems like you're going to meet this person within this next month. But the main focus here is this movement, right? For month 1, the next 4 weeks. The movement that is showing up for you comes from this quiet, peaceful space. Look how still the water is on this card. When you think of movement, connected to water, you would think of a raging river, but this is so calm and peaceful. That is not your Knight of Wands energy, right? This is bringing us straight back to the Queen of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. This is connecting us to a grounded, and notice how much water we have present in this reading, right? You have this grounded sense of connection to your emotions. So within this first month, you need to be focusing in the next 4 weeks, focus on bringing this balance into the passion that you're being introduced to. Then there's going to be a lot of communication in that second month. That second month is going to be, you're going to be testing each other in a sense. Omens and messages. You're going to be saying, how, like, this is both the sense of communication with each other and within yourself. Listening to the omens that are showing up to you about this person, about this connection, okay? The important thing that we're seeing here is you are capable of grounding yourself within your emotions, within your feeling center, and receiving these messages and receiving these omens of saying, wow, this person does feel like a wonderful connection. You're slowing down enough to be able to really see who they are. And that second month is all about that communication. And by the time you get to that third month of connection within this next quarter for you, it seems like you two will be very grounded in your connection. It seems like you will have built that foundation to be able to see where this connection takes you. Let me see a little bit more about we have the cards jumping out again, you guys. A bit more about the connection itself. Let's see. So we have our novice card. This is a very different relationship than one you've experienced before. This does not feel similar. That's the other aspect here of the Time Master. It's breaking a cycle. It's shifting out of that feeling of the familiar and if you actually picture a clock, picture that clock breaking. You're breaking that cycle right there and starting something new. And it seems like it's going to bring a lot of joy, but it will also bring creativity. The opportunity that sits within the spider, within the creativity that sits in our spider energy, is it forces you to get creative in the way that you approach a situation. And what I mean by that is it is a way, it's an opportunity for you to look at a situation that you may have experienced before in previous relationships that could trigger you, right? It could trigger you. Maybe the person that you're connecting with has a weird relationship with their mom. I don't know. I'm just saying the first thing that's coming to mind. And if this is something you've experienced in past relationships and past connections, don't allow that to trigger you. See it as an opportunity to get creative in the way that you respond. Maybe it's an opportunity to ask questions. Maybe it's an opportunity for you to just back up and give them some space and see what comes of it, right? All right. So let's throw some action cards here for you. What do you need to be aware of? This question is coming to mind. What do you need to be aware of within this connection? And what should the focus be for you? Not the focus of the relationship. What should your focus be as you begin this connection? Let's see. So we have ask for guidance. Make a feast. All right. I'll do one more. And watch your thoughts. All right. Oh, these feel so applicable to the situation here. So for ask for guidance, don't walk into this connection feeling alone. Connect with your girlfriends. Connect with your friends about this. Don't allow it to be insidious, because that is so often we can critique the new people in our worlds through connecting deeply with the people who have been in our life for a long time. Don't allow it to go that path, but ask for guidance. Share what you're experiencing. And also what's coming to me here with ask for guidance is this is actually an invitation for you to communicate with this new person in your world. If you feel odd about something, if you have questions, communicate with them. Don't let it sit quietly. Communicate with them. Make a feast. You two will be connecting over food. You will be connecting over food, and you'll be connecting in community. Make a feast always ties me to community, coming together over fire, coming together over food. I see you connecting with his friends very well. I see you also your friends connecting with him very well. So allow that communal connection to happen beautifully, and allow that to be a wonderful way to get to know each other in that setting. And then this third reminder is to watch your thoughts. So again, this pulls me straight back to your past relationships. Whatever you've experienced before that led you to think it's too late for me, that led you to think I've done this too many times, I can't handle this again. This is different. This new connection is completely different and deserves your optimism. Let me say that one more time. This new connection deserves your optimism. Because in this connection sits joy, sits luck, sweet victory, sits great deep emotional satisfaction, sits balance. There's so much, there's community, there's new beginnings, there's physical and emotional grounding. You have so much that is sitting within this new connection that is just so yummy and so different from what you've experienced before. And I want that to really sit with you, because it is significant. And if you allow that fear and that worry from your previous relationships, your previous connections, to interfere in this new connection that is so beautiful, then you're going to miss some wonderful opportunities that sits in this new connection. So make sure you're paying attention to those thoughts when they come up, to that doubt when it appears, and ask yourself the very important question, does this new person deserve this critique? Deserve this ridicule? Deserves this judgment? Or do they deserve grace? Because allow this new, fun, exciting connection to be just that. Be new and fun and exciting. Don't allow it to get heavy too quickly. Right? We're not going to be jumping in before we're thinking it through. Right? This is a reminder here that you absolutely are capable of handling this new connection with grace. All right, let's throw just one more. I feel like we need a bit more of a heads up about what's coming through. The next 3 months are going to be so exciting for you. Let me see. What do we have coming up? I feel like there's just a bit more information that's waiting for us. Let's see. Oh, we have the Lovers reversed and the Devil reversed. All right. Okay, I love that this is, we definitely needed to throw a few more details here. The Lovers, it's both a wonderful reminder that this love energy is coming into your life, but it's also an invitation, especially when the Lovers is thrown reverse, for you to connect within yourself. Make sure you are really paying attention to what your own expectations are and what your own trauma is within love connections and within your previous relationships. There's important things for you to be paying attention to. And the Devil also invites us to go inward. The Devil is a representation of illusion. And not everything is as it seems, is what the Devil tells us. And when the Devil is reversed, it's this question of, are you detached from your feelings? Have you maybe built things up in anticipation of getting hurt again and then closed some doors? So it seems like what these additional clarifications are inviting you to do is, before you jump into this beautiful new connection, you have some reflection to do. You need to be looking inward and asking yourself, because we go right back to our anchor card here with the Time Master, right? How much of this is an illusion? Because what the Time Master tells us, the time is an illusion. The time is a social construct. Simply look at how much is happening at once in this card. There is no time in this card. And this question of, is it too late? You have built up this story in your mind that you need to let go of. You've built up this narrative that, oh, I guess I'm just not supposed to find this person. What's so clear here is this connection is waiting for you, and it's beautiful. It really is. But you're not going to see it, or you're not going to embrace the opportunities unless you do this work first. So take some time, quiet, and start by just listening to your emotions. Listen to your emotions and think before you act. Feel before you act. And as always, watch your thoughts. Be kind to yourself. Be gracious with yourself as you go through this process. There's so much healing that you are capable of doing, and what's clear is you are absolutely capable of doing it. And once you have begun this healing process, there's no destination here, right? You will continue to heal through this connection. But once you open up to yourself and have that self-reflection and begin that healing, then look at what unfolds for you. And then you guys, be kind to yourself as you go through this process, and be excited about the love that is showing up for you. All right. Hello, group 2. Welcome. You picked the second card, our big, beautiful shell here, the card in the center. And let's see what we have today. We have Water reversed. All right. Well, let's throw a bit more We're asking the question today, what is next in love for you? What is next in love? And, oh, there's our 3 cards. Wow. They just jump straight out. Sometimes they do that. We have the 3 of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, and the 8 of Wands. All right. So with your anchor card, Water, Group 2. Water is cleansing, right? Water signifies so much within our ritual, within our daily life. It brings us straight to emotions. And water is, especially when it's reversed, it brings the invitation of rebirth. It absolutely connects us to, this is the beginning of something new, the beginning of a new cycle. Think of a baptism, starting fresh over, right? You have new beginnings. And what I love with our tarot that we've thrown to is we have the 3 of Wands, which is also about new beginnings, and it's about action. But when we have the 3 of Wands reversed, like we do here, it shows disappointment. It seems like you may have had an experience where you thought this was your new beginning, you thought this was your new love connection, and it didn't turn out that way. And that disappointment can really stick with you for a long time. But what's clear is what's coming up for you is different, right? So we have the Ace of Pentacles, which further clarifies that this new beginning is going to have long-term success. This feels like a long-term connection. This could result in marriage. This could result in having children. There's a lot of abundance and fertility that's connected to the Ace of Pentacles. This feels like a long-term love that you're settling into. Then the 8 of Wands, this is, yes, absolutely, this love connection is showing up. It's also a card of action. It's a card of taking control of the situation and jumping straight in. And it's a wonderful card for confirmation here. So what I'm seeing here is you absolutely do have love showing up for you. And it is going to be different than your previous connections, but it's also not going to hold this disappointment. And I want to pull this out for a second. Let's see what you've experienced before that's making you doubtful, because I'm picking up on that that doubt that's popping through, and that you're just so worried that this could happen again. And so let's take a look at what is coming up about these past experiences that you can release. What can we release here? Yeah, you've definitely been burdened by this. You've struggled with communication. Yeah, it's previous relationships have felt risky. And the ego. All right. So here it's clear that you have been burdened by these past relationships. They have had huge impacts on your life. And what's really frustrating about that is, of course, it is hard to picture a new connection not doing the same when that's all that you've experienced. Or maybe not all that you've experienced, but it's been the majority of what you've experienced. It seems like there's been a lot of blocks within your communication. It really feels like there's, straight into this next clarification. There's been risk in communicating. You haven't been safe to communicate. You haven't had that vulnerability and that transparency, and that's because ego has been involved. There's been just some really fragile egos here that have made it really challenging for communication. And so what we can see here is this is all the energy that you can release. No wonder you've been disappointed in these connections that you thought would be that long-term love. Because if this is what those love connections felt like, then of course you would not be optimistic going into this next connection that's showing up for you. But what's clear, because what we asked right here, is what can we release from these previous relationships? What's no longer serving you? What can you let go of? Because you do not need to carry that forward in this next connection. And the answer is all of this. You can let go of that fear of communication struggling again. You can let go of that feeling of it not being safe to communicate your emotions freely. You can let go of that worry of the ego being a whole big aspect of your relationship. It's almost like you were in relationship entirely with their ego, with the fragile ego. And there's times when ego is helpful, but if that's the entirety of somebody's character and being, then it is definitely not helpful. So let's set these aside and jump straight into this new connection. That's clear that that's what you can let go of. Let's take a look at what is this new connection going to look like. And I'm going to start with a quick timeline. Let's see what's coming up for you. This video is timeless. So if you are watching this reading at any time, then this is about your next quarter, your next 3 months. Let's see. Is this connection happening in your next quarter? No, not yet. The following quarter? Yes. All right. So it's clear that the next 3 months for you are going to be, you're still going to be a bit too protected and guarded about this past trauma, then this past disappointment that you've experienced, for you to be open to this love connection. But it's a wonderful opportunity for you to work on processing through these experiences that you've had and let go of some of that fear and that anticipation. And before, this is a wonderful yes card. You will meet this next connection in the following quarter. And so, like right now, if you're watching this video when it's first released in June of 2025, the next 3 months straight through to September are going to be focused on this protection here and working through letting go some of that trauma. And then the following 3 months, September to January, that is when you will find that love connection. So you can just go ahead and do that math for whenever you are watching this video. It's the second quarter. But let's take a look at the next 3 months real quick. What we're processing and letting go of. All right. Yeah, seems like you've been deceived. There may have been disloyalty involved in past relationships. There may have been a lot of dishonesty and lying. The owl is all about deception when it's presented in a wise way, right? Think of the wise owl. If someone's presenting themselves as a wise owl, as someone with all this knowledge and trustworthiness, and then they disappoint you because they've been using that as a guard, as a front, then there is so much deception and hurt involved in there. But what's sitting within the next 3 months for you is healing. The serpent is an invitation to shed this skin, start a new, beautiful relationship with the skin underneath it. You can shed and let go of so much in these next 3 months. So we're just going to leave this over here for the first quarter. Let's jump into taking a look at what's coming up in that second quarter. What is this love connection going to entail? What do you need to know in order to be fully ready and just fully open for that love connection showing up? What do you need to know about this love connection? Okay, yeah, I really do see this person being very sticking around for a long time. Yeah, all right. So we have, look, this is your king showing up. Very strong masculine energy, is very structured and disciplined, but also may have some growth. We have him in reverse, may have some growth that needs to happen within that structure and discipline. They may actually depend a bit more on their feminine side and present that way, but they have this potential sitting underneath them. They seem like a very creative, very exciting person. They're not necessarily your traditional person that you would be interested in, because I feel like you've been very attracted to the very prominently masculine presenting type of person, and it seems like this flip of that is new to you. So give yourself some grace through the process of being attracted to that, because that will be an experience of growth for you as well, and it will allow for you to kind of step into that role, because it seems like there's potential here for you to thrive within that very active, structured, disciplined masculine role as well, and that balance will come. There's going to be moments where maybe he or she is struggling with their own growth, and you'll need to be able to give them some forgiveness. But it feels like they'll be very forward with their when they've fallen short. It feels like that communication will really be there, and that forgiveness, you should be able to give it easily. If you handle these next 3 months and allow yourself to let go and process through some of that trauma that you've experienced, because there's so much deception that's been there, I hope that you'll be able to recognize that any sort of falling short or disappointments that this new person experiences or or that you experience with them, the fact that they're coming to you and saying, this is exactly what happened, that communication is so strong here. Allow that forgiveness to come easily, because the important thing here is this is an opportunity for you to heal as well. All right. So let's take a look at our action cards. What is it that you need to know right now for your actions? Because there's a lot that you need to process through in order to experience this long-term love. Again, remember this next love connection that's coming in is it's a love of abundance. There's longevity. There is a long-term love coming through here. So what are your action cards that you need to see right now? Put your hands in the dirt. Connect with nature around you. When you're processing through some of this trauma and some of the previous relationships, it seems like the processing needs to happen in connection with nature. Allow that to be a meditation for you. Then we have go into nature. Yeah. Beautiful. Connect with the nature around you. Allow that to heal you. And sing your song of life. You may have been quieted. It really feels like you haven't been able to truly communicate, and you haven't had that transparency and that freedom to be able to communicate before. So make sure that you are truly connecting with your own inner song of life and speaking freely. Then you will be able to speak freely in this new connection. So make sure you're ready to. Make sure you've let go of that worry about not being heard. And it will take some time. You will continue to heal through this new connection. But there's so much beauty sitting within this healing for you guys. And give yourself grace as you're going through this process, everybody. There's so much wonderful love waiting for you. And give yourself grace as you're processing through this for the next few months, all right? All right. Hello, group 3. You chose our beautiful little patterned shell here. This is the card all the way to the right. And let's jump in. We're asking, what is next in our love life? Ooh, we have lightning. Now, lightning reverse. Let's not forget that that's how the card should come. Okay, let's throw some tarot. Let's see what we have coming up for you, group 3. Next in your love life. I'm going to see what is coming up here. All right. 3 of Swords. 6 of Swords. Oof. Okay, here we go. And the 9 of Pentacles. Okay. All right, so with lightning, this wonderful card, the wonderful thing about lightning is think about how lightning strikes, right? It's precise, and it is both illuminating but also dangerous. There's danger here, there's electricity here, and so I'm really being pulled to focus on the balance for you within your love life. And it really feels like you may have just come out of a relationship and you are in the process of healing from that. And then I'm getting that we have our 3 of Swords here, which is all about heartbreak. It's all about, it's an invitation for you to lean into your discomfort. And it really feels like there's been a lot of, it really feels recent. I'm getting this also from the 6 of Swords. This is where your pain is over, your discomfort is over. It's time to move on. Look at the movement happening here. It's time to move on. And it seems like there may be hope that this connection could resume, or there could be a desire or a yearning for something similar to that connection. But what we see here in our 9 of Pentacles is that there is abundance and luxury waiting for you, but it's waiting for you within your independence. So what I see here is that you need to take this time to grieve. You need to allow yourself to take this time to grieve so that you can truly move on and experience this abundance that sits within your own individual power. The 9 of Pentacles is all about control. It feels like you have not been in control. And this is now an opportunity for you to be in control. And if you are not just recently coming out of a connection, if there is someone that you are no longer with, you've been thinking about a lot lately, or who you've been yearning for, It's clear that that connection is not the right one for you. And so let's take a look. Let's look into that connection real quick. So whether this is a relationship that just ended or someone that you've been thinking about a lot lately who was a previous connection, let's take a look at that connection real quick and see why this is not the connection for you. Yeah. So it may really seem like this was your love connection, this was your purpose, your person. But what's clear here with reversed love is that love simply was not there. This is simply just not your soulmate. This is simply not your person. And there's an opportunity for forgiveness here because it seems like there's nothing that could have been done in order to make this relationship work. And so what I'm seeing here with focus reverse is it really seems like both of you may have been trying to make this connection work, but there was just nothing you could have done. And so that's what makes this so much harder too, is because it seems like you got really creative. You got so creative in your attempt to make this work. But the struggle is that sometimes it's just not in the cards, you guys. Sometimes it's just not the person for you. And you may not know why. And that's definitely why it feels like maybe you are struggling because you don't have that closure. Or you didn't have that big fight that ended the relationship. Or maybe you did, but you still feel like you are able to forgive. And why wouldn't there be that connection there? But what's clear is that that's just simply not your person. You need this time of independence. You need this time to be able to heal from this process and move on. Because, let's see, what does the next... I want to see when that next connection is showing up for you. Because this is clearly so focused on independence. And I know you're here asking about when that next love connection is showing up. So let's look at this next quarter. The following quarter. And the third quarter, and the fourth quarter. All right. Okay. So what I'm doing here is this video is timeless, right? So whenever you find this, this reading is for you. This is your next 3 months, the following 3 months, the following 3 months, and then the following 3 months where this is going to be the next year, right? So this brings us right back to a year from now. I see love happening for you a year from now, which you have a whole journey to go through here. You first need to nourish yourself. And you need to reach out to your community to make sure that you are in community. You are not in solitary. You are not solitary through this. You have community here. You're going to be finding a deeper level of your feminine power, which is tied to community. It's tied to friendships. It's also tied to your sexuality. There's a lot of empowerment sitting there here. You have to let go of some of this wounded ego. You have the Goblin reversed, which is all about that wounded, tired, young ego that lives within all of us, and it needs to be addressed. And that's going to be a part of this process as well, before you have beautiful transformation. Before you have a beautiful opportunity for a new connection. And it also comes with a connection to your intuition and a connection to trusting your gut. And the following year really is going to be one where you are really finding a way to thrive within your independence and regain control. And it's beautiful, even if it's not entirely what you're hoping for or what you're desiring right now. Let's focus on some action cards. What do you need to be focusing on right now to take advantage of this journey that you're on? And both of these are coming out. We have Sing Your Song of Life. Listen to that beautiful song that lives within you and make sure you are listening to your voice and using your voice. Go into nature. Connect with the nature around you. Bring some nature into your home. And listen to the wisdom of your feelings. Oh, I love that. Okay, listen to the wisdom of your feelings. This is so inwardly focused, but it's also focused on community. Let's do one more for you guys. And hug somebody. Yeah, you are not alone in this process. This next year is not designed to be solitary. It is absolutely not designed to be solitary. Make sure you are connecting with the people around you. Make sure you are connecting with these wonderful friendships because they are there for you. They are waiting to connect with you. And be kind to yourself through this process, because this process is what is going to allow you to truly be ready for that next love connection that is just yummy when it shows up. It will be a wonderful, wonderful connection that shows up, because you will have really found a way to thrive within this Nine of Pentacles energy. All right. Okay, you guys. Be kind to yourself through this process. Be graceful with your emotions and with your feelings. Connect with your intuition. And go hug somebody. Don't do this alone, okay? All right. I'll see you next time.